Hello, this is Brendan, another episode where we'll look at some illustrations this time. I don't know where this channel has gone. I made a lot of shows, but everything keeps changing so fast. So I'll talk about that on today's agenda. I'm hoping to do like 10 minutes. It's 11:00 something right now. So I should stop at 15 or something. Just 10 minutes looking at what I'm doing today and try to do that a bit more frequently to see what happens because it just, it's in my head every day. Make a video, and then I get busy and I'm like, but I have to do this. And this would be a good video. What about this? What about? And then, you lock up and it's like, okay, never mind. And then you play a video game or watch a movie. So, you gotta stay productive. The thing that I'm doing here, I'm coloring these, which I drew earlier today. And the whole point of this was that, I was playing a game called Pathfinder, and there's this artist who, what's his name? Wayne Reynolds. Now, if you're watching on a small screen, this might be hard to see, but this is his website. I don't want to. It says something. I read his FAQ, like he doesn't want his stuff like copied or shared or anything. So, but I mean, well, his website's public, so I'm assuming anything here is kind of like okay. I don't know. So just go to his website. It's waynereynolds.com or search Pathfinder artist. He's an artist for this game called Pathfinder. It's really good. Excuse me. So I'm not going to go through all that stuff. What I wanted to note, this is why the only reason I'm not leeching off his art for my purposes. I just had to show an example of the detail that he does here, and that's what really inspired me. I haven't been doing anything like that in a while. I think that type of detail can only come from drawing, it seems. I mean, for me, it seems to be that way. I don't know how else you would go about it, because ever since I started digital painting, which is not that long ago, I've been drawing my whole life. But the digital painting stuff and some perspective style stuff, it's all a bit new. I had to practice that stuff over the past 5 years. But, so I just looked at that and it inspired me. I was like, that's what I feel like I'm missing. It's just that love of drawing I need to bring back to me, where you can just sit there and stare at something and use your imagination and come up with all these like crazy ideas and the detail of everything. So that's what I did, and basically it came out like this, right? So you zoom in a little, there's interesting character, kind of a cat man there. This big fat dude, you call him whatever you want, long dude. What I did is I used the foundational shapes. You always start off drawing a face with like a head or something, and they're all staring like straight at you. It's a portrait view, not a profile or anything. They're all looking straight directly ahead. That makes it a lot easier to use your imagination in design. I don't have to worry about things like perspective and the angle of the jaw and the way things look when the face is like tilted and stuff. It's just a flat layout. So that's good for designing purposes. I thought it was just do it like that. And then I was kind of happy with all these results. I like this. I can't tell if it's a guy or a girl. This creature, it's an alien. I guess it doesn't matter. I've got the horns and just the weird things that happen. And this guy decided just to try a really long nose and see what happens. And so he came out like that, and I was okay with it. Same with this guy. I wanted a really round head, and ended up like that. So it's just experimenting with different shapes and sizes and exaggerating. Funny thing is, even when I exaggerate, like this guy here, he actually comes out just kind of normal looking, just like a guy, regular human. But originally I was trying to exaggerate his nose, but it's not that big, is it? It's just, relatively big. It's not like crazy. Like I was trying to think of something like a dwarf or, there's some kind of fantasy character where they have extremely exaggerated features. They didn't come out that big. And for her, she has a tiny nose. Right, so I would flip back and forth, try something really big, then try it small, try it long, and with all the features, and just see what happens. And so the characters came to life like that. And so when I was looking at, I have to remind myself, his name, Wayne Reynolds. It's a new name for me. But check out his website. Really, really good art. And just the way when I was playing that game and I looked at his art, I was like, man, that's some really cool stuff. He has a way of bringing the characters out. They have unique kind of features about them. Does she want blue or does she want red? I feel like we have to go red. Don't know why. So, and so that's what happened there. And now what I'm going to do while I'm talking about other nonsense is to just color in. I'll show you what I did here. There's a sketch layer, right? And I can hide that layer so you can see it. I'm going to turn off all these color layers first. And so I focus on this guy. I'm going to do what I did for him for all of them with basically 3 layers. There's the base color layer. And you see I just chose one color. And another important thing was to use a little bit of texture. That's another thing in Wayne Reynolds' art that I realized that, and I've known this for a while now, it's not just him, but he does it so well. I'm trying to get texture more. I have a tendency to just have like flat colors without so much of this kind of, you can see a little texture in there, the red blotchiness. That gives more depth to the objects. Well, it's texture. I'm not going to say what it does. I don't have the words for it right now, but you just know when it's done, it's a totally different outcome. So I added the texture on that. And now this lighting layer, it just it's for mood basically. So the top half, let me see, it's at 74. If I raise it all the way up, you can see the top half is like yellow and the bottom half like blue. That's, you know, using complementary colors. It's the same old thing. And then the final layer is just more black and whitish, kind of like making it a bit more cartoony, so that the features all pop out and stuff. You can tell what I mean when I just, if I show it, see it looks flat now, and you do that, and it comes to life. It just pops out. It helps to feel out the 3-dimensional space of everything. It's light and shade. So I did it like that. Just 3 layers, keep it simple. And then what really killed me, again, you gotta go look, is I don't want to show too much of his stuff for my own purpose, but look at his, this is only like a pencil sketch here. Look at his color works here, and the amount of texture he uses all kinds of textures. In the game you could see, if you zoom in, there's just a lot of different things going on in the fabric of the clothes and the faces and their features and everything. And there's just so much detail. He even seems to like add detail where it might not even be needed, to the extent that it's not realistic. But who cares? Because the whole point with like fantasy and sci-fi and stuff was that's what we're supposed to do. We're trying to grab your emotion by doing something that's not ordinary. You don't take a photo of just some dude walking down the street. It looks normal. That's boring. So anyway, go back to what I'm doing here. And I only got like a minute or 2 left here. I might push this, a little bit longer. Keep this very short. And I'll just color this one girl real quick while I'm talking about. I'm on a hiatus from drawing. I'm not applying to. First, I guess just to make sure that some people might. You don't hear this word too often these days. I think the word hiatus. What's it mean, right? And it means to take a break, like a long break. By the way, I just want to mention I'm using there's an acrylic brush in here, but this one I didn't like too much. Let me try a different one. Yeah, I like that one better. It's a bit more blotchy. So I'm on a hiatus. It just means to take a long break from work and stuff. Fix that. Now the human eye can see all this stuff easily, but I'm trying to make it not too obvious. Get it in there. So for my hiatus, what I keep trying to get around to here, I'm trying to just not apply to any art related jobs and stuff. I just need a break, and it's hard to keep up with that, and also getting money, because I'm not like, I feel like I'm a level behind on what probably just like how should I put this, just where I should be, I guess, where it could be, in terms of like being an artist who's highly applicable to a lot of a lot of jobs. I need to brush up my portfolio a bit, perhaps something like that. And I'm also just very bored with it. You know, it's I get tired of doing. Like I was working on the illustration series, the Greek mythology illustration series, and I got to number 5 of 10, and I just started to feel like, oh man, this is getting long. And a part of the problem with that is not only, it's not, I mean, I can work through hard work, obviously, I do this every day, but a big problem with that is that I had to do a ton of research for each and every illustration, because I'm not an expert in Greek mythology. The whole point of that was that I would hope I could learn more about Greek mythology while I was doing it, and so that's why I started that project. But it's so much because my art style seems to be transitioning at the same time that I'm doing all this stuff. Let me show you what I do. So let me just finish that idea real quick. So to have to research all this stuff, and simultaneously my art style recently has been going through a lot of transition. It's too much, and so I need to work out my art style first, just finish this, and I think this is what it's going to be, kind of like what you see me doing here, just three layers, and then that's it, I'm done. And a sketch layer, and then of course I can always do fine line work over top or something. The full painterly style is getting to be too much work for me, or maybe I'll just save it for later, I don't know. So anyway, that's just wrapping that idea up. I'll just show you real quick what I do now. I only want to select this girl so that I can put the highlights or the mood lighting on her. So I'm going to select with the the color picker, or it's called select by color tool, right? And so if I select transparent area, basically I'm on my base color layer, it'll select everything that isn't colored. Now I hit Control I. Let me show you so you can see it. So you see, if I try to draw here, yeah, if I try to draw here, see, it selected everything except what is colored. So you can see that there. That looks kind of cool too. But so what can I do now? What I want to do is just focus on her, so I can add some mood to it. So I want every character to have kind of like different lighting, different angles and stuff. So I do that. Now I hit Control I, and that'll invert the selection. So now I've selected everything that has been colored, but that includes this guy, right? And I'm gonna get rid of him. So how do I get rid of him? I'm gonna go rectangle select, hold down Control, and then select him, and that'll unselect him. So she's still selected, but he's not. Oh wait, don't need that. I go back to my tool, and there you see I'm only drawing on her now. So that's a quick trick or a quick tip that can help you to select a certain area. Now I'm going to go up to the mood lighting, and I mean, you can do whatever you want. A lot of people suggest using yellow light. I don't know. I might want to go a bit more orange for her. I don't know why. Add a little bit of saturation to it so you can actually feel the color. And get my gradient. So with him, the light's coming from on an angle at the right side. With her, I don't know, maybe directly from the top, perhaps. Something like that. Yeah. That kind of, it brings out a lot of the color in her hair as well, which is kind of nice. Yeah, that's highly exaggerated, but I can, with this is GIMP 2.10, after having put that there, I can change the opacity, and when I feel comfortable, then I hit enter, and it'll, well, settle in, kind of. Maybe I can have the lighting kind of behind her. I don't know. It's hard to make choices sometimes. So I went with the orange. It doesn't matter. You can use any color you want, but a purplish kind of blue might work in this case. Just trying to find a nice complementary color. Raise the opacity a bit. This adds a lot of mood. That's all it does. Right. And the opacity on this layer is supposed to be down a bit anyway. Yeah. Okay. and it's very subtle, right? I might even turn the opacity up strong like that. Okay, yeah. All right, so I got up to supposed to be, I guess it's like 15 minutes now. So I think you get the general idea. I didn't do much, and then the last thing, well, maybe I'll just do it very quickly. I'll just get, in this case, I'll just use a white or very bright yellow. And I'm still using the same brush. Bring the opacity down a bit. Yeah. That's like very white, so I have to. But I assume our hair, it looks very clean and pulled back, right? So it could have a little bit of reflectiveness to it. So basically, I think it ends up being like the light is right directly above her. And that's okay. So in that case, I would want to highlight some of this stuff here. Top of her nose. Get like a little shiny thing right there. Her lips, light up a little bit down here. For this case, I could technically, might be better with the other, another kind of brush. Yeah, let me go to something a bit more smoother. So that makes it look like her face is all kind of blotchy. But I already have the red. That adds a bit of blotchiness. Don't need it. Try and get a shiny right there. And lips. Something like that. Maybe it comes down a little. The chin. I don't know. I think that's actually okay. I just want to lower the opacity on it a bit. And so she has very, her cheekbones are lit up very high. That's not too shabby. I'm comfy with that. Now, for her skin shade here, I'm going to grab her skin color. I'm going to bring it down and raise the saturation a bit and go a little bit more red. Again, I have no idea why. Just a decision. Is this painting at all? Okay. Like no opacity here. There it is. It just feels better that way. And some people advise that specifically. They say, you know, that's how you have to do it. Now, under her eyes, big thing, it's not only that girls have makeup, and she obviously looks like somebody who might have makeup on, but also having deep set eyes is more attractive, I find. Show me a person doesn't have deep set eyes. I actually did that on purpose. Here, she does not have deep set eyes. They're, well, I just say they're not deep set eyes. I don't like the words that come to mind. She's still beautiful. I like the way she looks. But deep set eyes seem to be a desirable feature in a lot of people. Look at, you know, like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. Oh yeah, and this thing here is supposed to be like tattoo kind of thing, or some makeup design. Put that on like that. Match the red. And there we go. And there'll be more, but I want to end the video. It's getting too long. I'll just give you an idea, you know, how I'm making these new kind of character designs. It's fun too, like a lot. I really just enjoyed this. I put on some podcasts and just worked away at it. And the more I do, the more fun it gets. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that and have a good day. Hope the video didn't run too long. That's what I'm up to. I will still do a newsletter, and I'm going to keep working on some character designs like this. And I don't know, just I'm on a hiatus. I'm taking a break. It's too much, but I'm still working on courses. I mean, I'm still here. I'm doing stuff, but I'm winding down. I got to change directions, change gears. I got to shift, you know, into a slower gear. It's just too much. I got a lot of stuff to do. Okay, so hope you guys are having fun. Smash that like button. Get on my newsletter, bschu.net. Scroll down, find the newsletter. You'll love it. And all that other stuff in there. Have a good day. Take care. Don't forget to keep drawing. Have fun with it. And don't get bogged down. Have a good day. Bye-bye.